Alright y'all, welcome back. Josh with Josh's Lawn and Landscape. Real quick, we're going to do a little maintenance, an upgrade. We're going to sharpen some blades. So I'm trying to get a little bit of footage of everything and kind of explain to you how I do each. So you've already seen me do the basic maintenance. So that's all we're doing today on the 590. We're just going to do a 50-hour oil change, and then we'll have a 50-hour interval every so often, every 50 hours after that, excuse me. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the 50-hour oil change on the 920. So I'm going to pull it around and pull it in, and then we're going to take the blades off the 590, sharpen them and put them back on. And then I've got a couple of sets for the 920 that we're going to sharpen, and then I've got an upgrade for the 920 that we're going to install, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. So real quick, what we're going to do here is I have my toolbox here. It's my blade balancer, as you can see. So we'll have that. What I do with my blades is I use the angle grinder here with I guess this is a 60 grit disc, and I'll place my blades in the bench vise here. I don't have an All-American sharpener. I may work towards getting one of those, but so I'll clamp it in the vise here, and then work on one side of the blade, turn it around, work on the other, and then I'll take my little balancer, set the center hole down on the balancer, and make sure that the blades are balanced so there's not a lot of vibration in it, making some unnecessary wear on the spindle. So that's what we got. So we're going to put the blades in here. I've got one set here and one set here that we'll sharpen, and like I said, we're going to take the ones off of the 590. So, and I may sharpen these. This is a set of the Predator blades that I may run. So we'll get to that. Again, oil change on both mowers, and then we'll do an upgrade. So stick around and I'll show you what the upgrade is here shortly, and we'll be back. Alright everybody, real quick, I'm trying to get some quick footage of sharpening this one blade here that I got in the grinder, or ready for the grinder here in the vise. So what we're going to do is just show you how we sharpen it. I'm going to try to set the phone up here to get a good shot. Hopefully you can see how I kind of sharpen mine. So I used to sharpen them with the bench grinder here, and there's a big difference in trying to do it with that, even to the just using the angle grinder like this without, say, was it RBG 712 or the All-American sharpener. So that's what we're going to do real quick, get this footage, and then we'll show some footage of the blade being balanced. So we'll shoot it up on the little cone thing here, or balancer, and let's see how that works. I know some of y'all probably have seen it, but for those of you who haven't, this is a good way to make sure you eliminate extra vibration in your blades when you're mowing, which should, in the long run, increase the life of your spindles. So you're not adding stress to them with all of the vibration if your blades aren't balanced. So here we go. I'm trying to set the camera up. It's not wanting to cooperate, y'all. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this turns out. got that side done. So what we're gonna do is loosen the vise up, turn the blade around, tighten up, clean up the other side, and then we'll set it up there on the balancer and see what it looks like. Alright, so we got this one, loosen the vise on it. You can see a nice clean edge on it, good and sharp. So same thing on the other side. So there you go, a nice sharp edge on it. So what we're going to do now is we'll take it and set it up here on the balancer. Once you get it set and level, and you can see this one's actually pretty well balanced, pretty level across there. So try to get it, keep it from waving here and let it quit swinging and see what we got. So, and it's pretty level, so that's what we're looking for, sitting level on there, so when it spins it's not throwing a heavier side of the blade around and it'll create vibration. So that's what we want to try to do. We're going to do this whole set, and then we're going to do the ones on the 590, and hopefully this was helpful to y'all. If anybody is maybe not doing it this way, or let me know what you think. Anybody out there doing it this way? Anybody using the bench grinder method there like I used to do? Or do you have the All-American sharpener or the RBG sharpening system? So this is just kind of the best bang for the buck for me right now. So let me know what you think. Again, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do these other two blades and then do a set, the ones on the 590. And then we're going to get on the ACS real quick. So stick around. Appreciate it. Well, guys, as you can see, the ACS is not on the John Deere at the moment. And this is a valuable lesson learned. So I do have the ACS assembled, so it's ready to go. But just because you buy something for your mower does not mean you will not have to fabricate to make it work. So I found out after assembling it and looking at how to get it mounted that basically I either have to cut this piece out, part of it, and I can save it to put back in later if I need it, or mark the proper holes and put in spacers to run the bolts through so it'll level it off. So I'm gonna have to continue back on this tomorrow. So this will be to be continued on the chute blocker. So again, valuable lesson. Do a little extra research, more so than just ordering the part for your mower and thinking it's going to fit. So, but hey, you live, you learn. Excuse me. So I hope you enjoyed the footage sharpening the blade, and we'll try to get some more footage tomorrow. Maybe just do a video just on the ACS. But I do have it assembled. It is ready to go on the mower. I've just got to get a couple things together to fabricate and get the mounting correct. So we'll try to do that tomorrow. I don't have anything scheduled to mow, so we'll get that taken care of and let you see what it looks like when it gets done. And again, I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. I hope the blade sharpening footage is helpful to someone, and we'll do some footage again on, like I said, the ACS tomorrow, maybe in its own video more than likely. And again, we got the oil changes done on the 920 and the 590 on our 50-hour intervals. That's just something that I do. So I want to take the time to thank everybody for watching. A little bit of a hodgepodge video here, but we'll try to make something out of it. And I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Again, everybody who's taking the time out to watch. And we're going to catch up with you on the next one. Y'all stay safe. And God bless. Alright, y'all, real quick. This is actually next day. I'm going to throw this footage in with my footage from yesterday evening with the maintenance talk and the blade sharpening and stuff. So talked a little bit about the ACS that I purchased for the 920. So here I got my 920 out, and what I got here is I've got 3, 1, 2, and the third one's actually going to be in this square hole here. I'm going to drill it out a little bit, but there's 3 holes. And I'm going to actually utilize this with the spacers here. It's actually separate ones to get the height close to what this is without having to cut this out. And I'm going to drill these 3 holes and then mount the ACS on. And that should be it. So that's what we're going to do right now. And then we may even... look at those blades, they're a little banged up here, so we may end up taking those off and throwing a sharpened set on, which we have, and then maybe sharpening these for later. So that's what we're doing. We're going to get these holes drilled out so we can get this thing mounted, and we'll let you see what it looks like when it's done. So here we go. Alright, well, as you can see, we have progress. We have our bolts mounted here, and here. You can see this beam is supporting it down the middle, so that kind of helps with having a bolt on either side of it. The only thing I've got to do is take this bolt here and actually cut it off so that it's out of the way of the spring, so I can hook the spring back on right here onto this one. So everything is in place and works just fine. You can pull it in, close it, and it closes up pretty flush on the side of the deck. So we'll get the bolts cut off and out of the way, get the spring on, and we'll be out of here. So again, here's a little shot up here on the mower. Get your handles in, just reach over, pull it in, throw it down, and that's it. So that's our progress. Pretty much done. Like I say, cut a few of the bolts off here, put the spring on, and that's pretty much it. So there we go. We have it on. What I did with the bolt holes is I actually took a 5/32 and drilled a pilot hole in each spot. Then I took I think it's a 5/16, which isn't quite the size of the hole. It's actually 3/8 for the bolt hole size. But I drilled the 5/16 hole after the 5/32 in each of the 3 places, and then went back and kind of opened it on up with the 3/8 bit, which is still in the drill, so I haven't taken it out yet. So that's what I did to get the holes in there, and it took a little bit of adjusting when I was tightening the bolts down and adjusting this cam here, because when you open it up, that kind of rotates, and what I had a problem with when it was closing is the tip was actually wedging on the part of the bracket right here. So I just moved it out of the way and tightened up this bolt right here that's holding this on to get it out of the way, and it closes on up flush. There was a little bit of a gap about like that where this wasn't closing all the way down, so just some minor adjustments, but it's on there again. Following up from my video last night, obviously I didn't have a couple of tools that I needed, but this only took me about maybe 10 minutes, plus probably about the same amount of time about 5 minutes maybe on assembly. So, and then you'll figure in a little bit of time for cutting the bolts out. So putting it on the John Deere Z920M is probably around a 20-minute job if you got everything you need. 9/16 socket and wrenches, 7/16 socket and wrenches. This is for 7/16 is for this bolt here. The cam bolt, if you've got to tighten this little cam gear thing up here, this is actually 1/2 inch. These are 3/8 bolts, but they have a 9/16 head and a 9/16 lock nut. And these, when you're assembling the shield to the bracket, is actually also a 9/16. So 9/16, 7/16, 1/2 inch, and the nut here on the kit that I got, this was actually I believe a 15/16. Yes, that is a 15/16. I've seen a video where somebody said they had a 7/8, I believe they said it was, but I do know for this one is a 15/16. So that's what you'll need for this, and then your drill bits and drill, and you should be able to do it on the John Deere Z-Trax. This is Z920M model. So a little back and forth, a little craziness on this, but hopefully somebody will find this helpful. I'm gonna put this footage together with my stuff from yesterday evening with the blade sharpening and everything, so kind of a all-in-one similar type video, and I hope you like it. So comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. If y'all have used this, what y'all think about it, what issues y'all had with it. The only issue that I see that I may have with it is just getting used to having it, for one, but I do know when you open it up, you are a little bit wider than the deck, not much. So some tight places it could possibly cause a problem catching on this, depending on if you're going between a wall or something, but that's pretty minor. So, but when it's down, it doesn't really add much any width except for the thickness of the metal really to the deck, so shouldn't be a problem squeezing into places with it down. And so it's on there, a little added insurance, just you know, upgrading some things and making some changes. So again, thank y'all for taking the time out to watch. Appreciate everybody who subscribed already. If you haven't, hit like, hit subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications. Y'all be safe out there, and thank y'all for watching once again. Catch you on the next one.